Was it just a coincidence, therefore, that you announced your decision regarding the California waiver at a press event at 6:30 p.m. on December 19th, on the evening that President Bush signed the energy bill? It seems like a strange time to be making that announcement.
Well, I'd be pleased to explain. Again, the way the agency process works is briefings, then ultimately I make a decision. I turn to the staff, direct them to write the decision document. I turned to the staff, directed them to...
Was it a coincidence that you happened to make a decision at 6:30 p.m. right after the President signed the energy bill? Seems to be rather strange time.
Well, let me explain why. That late afternoon, and I don't recall what time, but my press office started receiving phone calls from major newspapers saying that papers had been leaked, and that, at least in their view, that it was misrepresenting what actually was true, and they came to me, and I made a judgment call that rather than having inaccurate information, that I would announce the decision. So while that was not my preferred course, I had a more orderly course of action that I had planned to take of announcement. I felt compelled that the American people owed what was the truth.
So just the coincidence that all that happened to occur on the same day as the President signed the energy bill?
Well, again,
is that what you're telling us?
I wasn't the person who leaked the information and
no, please,
flurry of
sir, I am asking you a question. The average American would find it rather strange that the head of a major agency at 6:30 p.m. on the evening that the President signs an energy bill, and you are under oath, would make this announcement in a press release rather than in a substantive legal argument on such an important issue.
Again, I acknowledge that this situation was unique. It was unique in that I...
Then you are saying that it's a coincidence.
What I said was it's a unique situation. I explained what the situation is. Be happy to, in greater detail for the record, if you'd like. Again, my commitment to the governor, members of this committee, was that I would make a decision by the end of the year. As I've already testified, while I was deliberating...
Mr. Johnson, could you understand that the American people might be somewhat dubious about your explanation that just on that particular evening at a press conference on such a lengthy issue, where the governor of California and the American people, it seems to me, are entitled to a lengthy technical legal argument as to why that waiver is rejected, 6:30 p.m. press release on the same day the President signs the energy bill?
Again, I'd be happy to, for the record, explain the circumstances that it happened. I've said that the rollout or the release of my decision was unique, but given the circumstances, I felt it was the best.
And the circumstances had nothing to do with the fact that the President was signing the energy bill on that day?
As I said, I've already described the circumstances. We'll be happy to.
But you didn't answer my question. Did your release that day have nothing to do with the fact that a few hours before the President signed the energy bill? Nothing to do with it?
As I said...
You didn't say, sir. You keep saying, as you said, you didn't say. I'm asking you a simple question. Was it related? Was it not?
Well, as I tried to say, that I was aware that Congress was debating the issue whether to change the Clean Air Act. I wasn't sure whether Congress would or would not. I wasn't sure whether the President would sign or would not sign. And so I wanted to have...
You were doubtful whether the President would sign it, would not sign it. Everybody in America knew that he would sign it. You're the head of the EPA. You were doubtful?
I wanted to have the advantage of making sure the President had indeed signed the legislation.
Thank you.